Today is going to be so fun. We have been working for many months to bring you not only a brand new pattern, but a beautiful new Zodiac inspired yarn collection, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. Let's talk about the pattern first, and then we'll get into the Zodiac inspired yarn. This is Flottante, a beautiful lace weight shawl. Patricia Liefeld designed this for you, and she was inspired by a beautiful flowing river. Everything about this pattern, from the colors to the different stitch patterns that you see, even the lightweight feel of the yarn, all of it brings to mind the idea of sitting next to a river and smelling the pine and watching the beautiful rippling water and feel the wind as it rushes through your hair. Flottante is an asymmetrical triangle shawl that can be worn and wrapped in a variety of ways. And it's really cool because you can make it this size that we have here. You can also make it smaller, or you could continue on and make it larger. Just do whatever lights your heart up at the moment. The stripes and garter section of this shawl represents the river as it tumbles and flows over rocks and logs along its journey. And sometimes water flows free, and that's represented by this beautiful blue lace. And I think you'll adore this section with this repeating lace. To me, I see a forest of stately trees, and it reminds me of going on hikes when I was a little girl in Alaska. And even now, Tim and I love to go on hikes and be surrounded by massive, wise trees. It really makes me feel so connected to nature, and I love it so much. And I do have a funny little hiking story to share with you. One time we made the mistake, or I should say, I made the mistake, I will take the blame. We went on a very hilly, a very rocky 13-mile hike, unprepared, over here by Crowder's Mountain in North Carolina. So it didn't seem like a big deal, but we got halfway through and I was out of food, I was out of water, and I was done. I was donesies. I had no energy left, and I was just praying for any kind of miracle to come save me from this exhausting, harrowing trek. I prayed for a big bird or a big drone to come pick me up and drop me off at the car, but nothing was forthcoming. We just literally had to put one foot in front of the other and just keep going and just keep going. I don't know, but somehow we made it back to the car. So all was well, and we learned our lesson. But back to the shawl. I really love that this design was inspired by a river. Water in nature is so soothing. I love listening to the sounds of it as it ripples along the rocks. And when you dip your hand into the cool water and feel the current rushing past, it's such a wonderful sensation. And then just sitting on the shore and watching as it tumbles along, it's truly so beautiful, and it really helps to bring us back to the present moment and to a sense of tranquility. And even the way this shawl feels, it really will remind you of water. Lace weight yarn is so lightweight, it's so flowy, it's like a breeze or a feather, and it really brings to mind running your hand through the water. And now I am so excited to tell you about our new yarn collection. So this year we're going to be releasing 2 new Zodiac inspired yarn colors each month. The yarn base that we're choosing for our Zodiac inspired collection is our Yak Silk Lace yarn. It's 680 yards per skein, and it's a beautiful, luxurious blend of yak down and silk. The silk gives the yarn a nice sheen and a flow, and then the yak down is just truly sumptuous. It's antimicrobial, it's super soft, it's breathable, and it has wonderful insulating properties. This is definitely a fiber blend to try at some point in your life. I am so excited for you to work with lace weight yarn if you never have before. In addition to it being so soft and lightweight and just lovely, you get so much yardage per skein that you can actually make this entire shawl with just 2 hanks of yarn. For this shawl, we used the first 2 colors of our Zodiac inspired collection, which are Aquarius Mist and the Water Bear. One is a beautiful river blue, and then the other is a mix of blues, teals, greens, and grays. So you could of course use these separately in a project if you like, but I think they're so beautiful combined in this project. In addition to the 2 new colors that we'll be releasing each month, we'll also have a beautiful pattern for you using those yarns. Sometimes it'll be a knit pattern, sometimes a crochet pattern. So if you would love to be notified when those patterns and yarns go live on the website, just be sure to sign up for email updates at expressionfiberarts.com. And just for some fun, I am going to be giving away 1 skein each of these beautiful colors. So if you would love to enter, just subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment below letting me know if you have ever worked with lace weight yarn before. When making this shawl, I do have a few tips for you. You're going to start working this design here in this corner and then increase as you go. So you will end up with quite a few rows, and it will really help you out a lot if you keep track of those rows as you go with stitch markers. And to amp up the fun even more with this collection, we are going to have little handmade opening stitch markers. These are made for you by Monica Wesley, and they are opening, so you can use them for crochet or for knitting, and they work great as row counters as well. So put these on every 10, 20, or 50 rows, whatever helps you keep track of how many rows you've worked. I also recommend putting a stitch marker on the right side of your work so that you always know which is the right side and which is the wrong side, so you don't get confused if you put your project down and come back to it later and you're not sure which row you're on. Another thing is, since we are working lace in this pattern, I really recommend that you use a lifeline. If you haven't tried this before, you're gonna love it. It really takes away all fear of dropping a stitch. You don't ever have to worry about that because all of your stitches will be on the lifeline. So we do have a video on how easy and amazing it is to work this technique, so we will link to that in the description for you. When working this pattern, you're gonna find just mainly basic, easy stitches. There are a couple of special stitches that I would love to show you how to work today. To work an SKP, which is a slip knit pass, you're gonna start by slipping this next stitch knitwise. Then you're gonna knit one stitch. Then you're just gonna go ahead and pass this slipped stitch up and over the knit stitch. So grab it with your left needle and just pass it over and off of the right needle. To work an SK2P, we're gonna start by slipping that first stitch knitwise. Then you're gonna knit 2 stitches together. So just work those next 2 together. And then you're gonna pass the slipped stitch over and off of your right needle. To work an SSK, slip, slip, knit, you'll slip the next stitch as if to knit, slip that next stitch as if to knit. Then you're going to go ahead and insert your left needle into those, and essentially you're knitting them together through that back loop and then off. And that's it. Feel free to grab this pattern and the yarn at expressionfiberarts.com. While you're there, sign up for email and text updates. We have loads of fun goodies planned for you this year, and I can't wait to share all of that with you. So find some time to sit in nature this week and soak up all the wonderful benefits it has to offer you. And hop back next week because we have another gorgeous pattern to share, and I can't wait to see you then. Bye!